It is Saturday! Yes, it is. It is Saturday, September 18th, 2021, and we're here for our daily lectionary readings. We have our three readings. Once again, it is Psalms 54 as we prepare for tomorrow. 2 Kings chapter 17, verses 5 through 18 is our Old Testament reading. And the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 23, 29 through 39 is our New Testament reading. Let us hear the scripture. Save me, O God, by your name, and vindicate me by your might. Hear my prayers, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth, for the insolent has risen against me. The ruthless seek my life. They do not set God before them. But surely God is my helper. The Lord is the upholder of my life. He will repay my enemies for their evil. In your faithfulness, put an end to them. With a free will offering, I will sacrifice to you. I will give thanks to your name, O Lord, for it is good. For he has delivered me from every trouble, and my eyes has looked in triumph on my enemies. The Old Testament reading today comes from the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verses 5 through 18. Then the king of Assyria invited all the land and came to Samaria. For 3 years he besieged it. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Syria captured Samaria. He carried the Israelites away to Assyria. He placed them in Halah on the harbor, the river of Gozan, in the cities of the Medes. This occurred because the people of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, who had brought them out of the land of Egypt under the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. They had worshipped other gods and walked in the customs of the nation with whom the Lord drove out before the people of Israel, and in the customs of the king of Israel had introduced. The people of Israel secretly did things that were not right against the Lord their God. They built for themselves high places at all their towns, from watchtower to fortified city. They set up for themselves pillars and sacred poles on every high hill and under every green tree. There they made offerings on the high places, as the nations did whom the Lord carried before them. They did wicked things, provoking the Lord to anger. They served idols, of which the Lord had said to them, "You shall not do this." Yet the Lord warned Israel and Judah by every prophet and every seer, saying, "Turn from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes in accordance with all the law that I command your ancestors, and that I had sent by my servants the prophets." They would not listen, but were stubborn, as their ancestors had been, who did not believe in the Lord their God. They despised his statutes and his covenant that he made with their ancestors, and the warnings that he had gave them. They went after false idols and became false. They followed the nations that were around them, concerning whom the Lord had commanded them that they should not do as they did. They rejected all the commandments of the Lord their God and made for themselves cast images of 2 calves. They made a sacred pole. They worshipped all the host of heaven and served Baal. They made their sons and their daughters pass through fire. They used divination and augury, and they sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord. provoking him to anger. Therefore, the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. None of them was left, but the tribe of Judah alone. Our New Testament reading today comes from the Gospel of Matthew. Matthew 23, 29 through 39. Hear these words. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you build the tombs of the prophets and decorate the graves of the righteous. And you say, if we had lived in the days of our ancestors, we would not have taken part in them, shedding the blood of the prophets. Thus you testify against yourselves that you are descendants of those who murdered the prophets. Fill up then the measures of your ancestors. You snakes, you brood of vipers. How can you escape being sentenced to hell? Therefore, I send you prophets, sages, scribes. Some of you will kill and crucify, and some you will flog in the synagogues and pursue from town to town, so that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed on earth, from the flood of righteous Abel to the blood of Zacharias son of Barachiah, whom you murdered between the sanctuary and the altar. Truly I tell you, all this will come upon this generation. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who sent to me. How often have I desired to gather your children, as hens gather her brood under her wings, and you were not willing. See, your house is left to you desolate. For I tell you, you will not see me again until you say, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. And here ends our readings for today. I hope to see you in church tomorrow. And remember, tomorrow at church, Elle Dowd is with us, and she'll be doing a workshop at 2:30. See you then.